All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I am back with my quick post-fight analysis for the tough finale for the ladies, Juliana Miller versus Brogan Walker Sanchez. All right, y'all, this is a good fight. Shout out to Juliana Miller. Like I said, man, she's really improved as a fighter. As far as what I've seen from Invicta, she's made the right improvements to go in here and make a big statement against a veteran, experienced fighter in Brogan Walker Sanchez. Now, Brogan Walker, like I said, when it came down to it, I figured she would be one of the finalists, but when I started watching Juju fighting after her first two fights, I said, you know what? I'm not sure if Brogan's going to take it all. I knew she would make it there because she had the experience and the style to do it. But when it came down to this relentless pressure that Juliana Miller just applies and just this natural physical strength that she has, I was like, you know what? It's a close fight here. But then when it came down to it, I said, okay, if you're really going to ask me, I think Juliana Miller, she can take it. And she did. She went in there and dominated. She did whatever she wanted. Brogan Walker, to me, just kind of fought the wrong fight. I know she wanted to utilize her grappling and prove that she was better on the ground, but she wasn't able to do any of that. Off her back, as far as her jiu-jitsu, it wasn't very impressive to me in this fight. I don't think she executed the right game plan, even as far as her striking. I mean, going back and looking at the fight, the first round, right away, Juliana Miller, I think she was measuring more here. She wasn't really just storming forward. She was measuring more with her long reach. She was able to land a good left hook right off top as Brogan was trying to step in. Then Brogan Walker, she just made a mistake and tried to clinch up instead of trying to strike. Here, I think Brogan would have been more effective, just fighting at a mid-range. But she chose to try to go strength for strength. She went in for a clinch up. Miller got a takedown. And in the half guard, she was just controlling. Now, off top, that's why I say I like to turn the commentating down. Sometimes I had it kind of medium this time listening to some of the things they were saying. And they were saying Juliana Miller wasn't very effective on top. They were saying that the strikes weren't that effective. They just said that the corner was just amping it up. But these little right hands she was landing was pretty effective. She was pretty much a blanket on top of Brogan Walker, and she was just landing these nice little right hands. It didn't look effective, but Brogan wasn't effective. She was just kind of laying on her back trying to pull Juju in close by the neck. But Juju was landing these nice right hands because by the time they got up, you could see the left eye was swollen. So, she was landing some pretty hard right hands here. That this is where her strike output had went up more when if you just on top landing this hard ground and pound. She was working, whereas I think Brogan Walker was just looking for submission more than position at this point. So yeah, she got up. Eye was swollen, so that was effective work from Juju. The second round, Walker, she wasn't really using her striking to the best of her advantage again. She was stepping in, eating jabs. She did land some good strikes, like a couple good push kicks at a mid-range. And, she was landing a couple 1-2. So I figured if she just fought here, it would have been more competitive, but it would give her more of a chance. But again, it was like she didn't believe in her striking. She went right in for a clinch, and Juju took her down again. It was just bad fight IQ for Brogan Walker in this fight. You shouldn't try to go in there for the clinch against somebody that's physically stronger than you. Miller, she was just all around strong in this fight. Again, Miller put her on her back, just out grappling Walker. And Walker, she was eating some hard. Also, she got taken down and almost got submitted by a rear naked choke. But that jiu-jitsu did save Brogan Walker in this. It did save her because she was able to get back up. But as soon as she got back up, went right back into a clinch, started eating some knees to the body, and it started wearing her down. And it just wasn't a good fight plan for Brogan Walker. So again, when they got clinched up, Miller just took her down again and just was really just overpowering her, just overpowering her on the ground. Third round, Miller started using her jab a little bit more effective here, at a good range. She was just keeping Walker back, keeping her honest, sticking that jab out. It was setting up some good right hands. It looked a little bit slow. Like I said, her hand speed isn't there, but she was making up for speed with timing. She was just timing Brogan every time she stepped in. And as soon as she knew her range, boom, she would hit her on the chin with the jab, and then she was mixing in the right hands. That's what really made it work for her. Like, if you don't have hand speed, timing is a good thing for you. If you know how to just measure your range and you just know that timing, boom, you can get off shots and keep fighters honest. So again, Brogan Walker, I think frustrated by the striking, went in for a clinch again. And again, guess what? Miller takes her down to the ground again and just overpowers her right away, gets the full mount, and just started dropping those elbows on her. She just started dropping some heavy elbows. That full mount was just too much pressure. Brogan Walker couldn't get up. She was just eating some vicious elbows. The ref, I think he gave her more than enough chance. She was just eating some hard shots. So then finally he just stepped in and stopped it, man. So yeah, Juju Miller, she took it. TKO, much earned, as far as her game plan and how she was able to use all her strengths to her advantage, not just her physical strength, but her striking and her jiu-jitsu. And what's crazy is, once you look at once you look at the resume, you'd say, okay, somebody like Brogan Walker should be able to walk through this type of fighter, or at least outclass it. But no, you got to remember Juliana Miller, even though she is a brown belt, she knows how to put everything together in the mixed martial arts. Because you look, okay, Juju's a brown belt and Brogan Walker is the black belt. And I know right off top, people going to say, oh, she got the experience and she got the black belt in jiu-jitsu. Okay, that's jiu-jitsu, right? And that's experience of other fighters in, different styles. But when you look at what Juju's done throughout the Tough House and how she's been able to utilize her brown belt and add her physical strength and her wrestling to that, you just got to factor those different things. And, MMA math just doesn't always add up. So, yeah, Juju, she got it done. She earned it. She took it all the way there. From here, of course, she's going to have to step in as an unranked fighter. Just need to see more work from her. I think her defense is still a big part of what needs to grow. Take less punishment. And I think in this fight she did that. She took a more methodical approach at first, more controlled approach, just stepping back and measuring her range, using her jab in a smart way, not just storming in, because she won't be able to do that with a lot of the fighters in the top 10. So I think she took this fight in a very smart manner, as far as just, letting Brogan come to her and using her jab wisely. Shout out to 2Beast. He asked me in the comment section of one of my videos, I think, and he asked, do I think she has one of the most effective jabs in WMMA? I can't say that yet. I can't say her jab is one of the most effective in WMMA. No, like, that's just too big of a spectrum, you know what I mean? I know it's a small world, but it's still a big spectrum if you know the fighters. But I think her jab is good for the level that she's on. I think that, she's learning how to use it well. And it can be a problem for the girls on the unranked level. But when you start stepping it up to girls who can move their head and, the ladies who can time that, and the ones that know how to throw a right hand around that or just like close in on her quick, that's still yet to be tested, right? They'll go right through that. They'll go right through that. So the level she's on is effective. If she can keep building that, yes, she might have one of the more effective jabs one day, but it's still too early to tell. So, she's still an unranked fighter right now. If she could beat 3 of the unranked girls like Jazzy, Montana, but JJ Aldridge, boom, she can get into the top 15, right? As for Brogan Walker, I think she should get a contract too, at this point. I mean, we can test her out, see where she's at. She's definitely, I think, a solid fighter. I just think that she needs to bump up her IQ, make the right decisions on the game plan in there, look for position instead of submission in the future, So, yeah, guys, that's all I got on this one. Let me know in the comment section what y'all thought of the fight. Let me know what y'all thought of the fighters overall. I'm going to come back and talk about the Tough House as a whole, too, like the Tough Show this time around, and even like the build up to Pena Nunes, the rematch, as far as like missed opportunities. Like, did they hold back here? Because the way Juju always talks about her opponent, in Brogan Walker, she gives her respect now. She gave her props as a fighter, but every time it comes back to like this tension, like it just seems like they cut so much out, and it just makes the fighters almost look crazy. Like now people are thinking, oh man, Juju's just like being extra, she's doing too much, or Brogan Walker's over here, what's she mad about? Like there's just so much cut out. That's why I just posted that little clip the other day about the prank, because it was like we didn't see any of this, and now we kind of know where some of the energy came from, but they just cut out so much. That's why it's like there was really no rivalry going on in the household. Like they just made it try to look all so perfect this time. And I was like, you still need a good mixture of like some tension in the house, because it's still a fight. You know what I mean? Like you still need to see some fighters kind of have that dislike or that disrespect for each other every now and then, just to really build up the entertainment value here, because it's still entertainment, right? So yeah, I'm gonna do a video talking about that missed opportunity, guys. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.